Heroes, villains, a tale as old as time, and the never-ending battle to protect truth and justice from those who thrive on chaos and bloodshed. Come with us as we peel back the mask on your beloved Crusaders of Light and dive deep into the dark and twisted abyss of the most feared and hated harbingers of doom. Follow your host, Power Maximus, and everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage, as they take a trip down the rabbit hole that is everything super. So, are you a hero or a villain? Either way, find that super suit and suit up for the Super Breakdown.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Super Breakdown Podcast. I'm your host, Power Maximus the Conqueror. I'm here with your other host, the one, the only, everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage.
What's up?
And the true Saiyan King himself, the man in the chair, Saiyan Jag.
What's up?
What the fuck was that, bro?
What?
What the? Like, what the?
Sound like a plushie. Stop it.
It sound like someone fucking a plushie. What the? What the?
See, you're already starting. Oh, we're on YouTube. We're demonetized.
Not like we were going to get monetized anyways. We're black. Thank you, Terramana. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Terramana, please sponsor us. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Super Breakdown Podcast. Today we have a really fun episode for you guys. We're going to be talking about if you don't know this show, you either were poor or lived under a rock.
Or you weren't born in the 90s.
Or you weren't born in the 90s. even if you weren't born in the 90s, you at least have heard of this show. You at least have heard of this show. And I'm talking about the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s. We all know the Spider Blend. Yes, that's what we're talking about today. That goofy ass masterpiece. I say goofy ass masterpiece because there was some goofy shit in there, but it was so good. Like the writing was, yeah. You good there, bro?
Yeah.
So not only want to be talking about that, but of course, Jag is going to be playing Spider-Man. So you guys get the joy of watching him kick the shit out of people while we talking about him kicking the shit out of people.
Don't die, nigga. That's all I gotta say.
Oh yeah, bro. You die. We roasting you if you die.
I'm not
So
dying.
I'm just saying, if you get your ass beat, we're roasting you.
I'm not dying.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's not gonna be like fucking Batman. I was fucking struggling.
oh goddamn, you were getting your ass beat in Batman episode. But it's all right. The mechanics is you like after not playing that Batman game again, you literally have to start that shit over from the very beginning because of the way the mechanics are. You literally have to start all over. If not, you're getting your ass beat. The learning curve is stupid. All right. So Spider-Man the animated series. It was a animated series that premiered on Fox Kids back in 1994. The creator, writer. I won't say creator, but the writer of the show, John, Semper, John Semper Jr. or whatever. I apologize, John, if you're watching. I apologize for botching your name. But yeah, he was a writer on their show, and and I definitely want to shout him and point him out because in a time where you really didn't have a lot of black writers, he's one of the few black writers back in the 90s. So I appreciate it. I respect it so much.
He was the first one to do a daytime cartoon.
Yep. You know,
There it goes.
Yeah, as you guys can hear in the background, Jack has the classic 90s thing. I hope we don't get pinged for that. I hope we don't get pinged for it. But yeah, so hopefully we're talking over enough so we don't get pinged for that. But no, yeah, so the show aired in 94. It had 4 seasons?
5.
The 5 seasons. And it was one of the few daytime cartoons to really have an actual story. Like, yeah, in the first season, the first 2 seasons, it was kind of like standalone episodes, but it was kind of like more so like introductory to Spidey, Peter, and his villains. At the point they started actually having full like story arcs and like the reoccurring characters throughout. Speaking of recurring characters, this show had like they introduced us to the animated version of a lot of characters. I believe we talked about a little bit about this in the last episode when we were talking about Batman. But
Prep time.
Shit, with this, we needed prep time for this shit. Everything went wrong. Audio went out. This went out. That wasn't working. Yeah, prep time was very much so needed for this episode. But it's the Spider-Man animated series. As you can see, if you guys, for those who have seen it, you know the art style, and as you can see, Jag is playing in the costume, the original '90s costume. Actually, it's actually comic book style too. So this show has brought. You've seen the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. You see the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. You see the Tom Holland Spider-Man. None of that would be possible. None of that would be possible without in my eyes, wouldn't be possible without Spider-Man the animated series. How do you feel about that, Tank?
Well, I definitely agree as far as that goes because in my mind, like when I think of certain characters, I think back to the cartoon. Like hands down, this cartoon is one of the reasons why people were such big fans of Venom.
True.
Carnage also.
Yeah. Yep. The whole Venom and Carnage storyline. I feel like they kind of the ending towards that storyline was kind of lackluster to me. With who was it? Pretty much some I forgot who it was. One of the big wigs or head honchos were pretty much. Oh, it was shit when they did their own rendition of the Secret Wars. They had Venom and Carnage as like the big bads or whatever. Towards the ending of the show, so I kind of feel like that kind of like it was lackluster towards the end. But other than that, I agree. Like who else did you find interesting that they introduced?
Well, the first season was basically a series of one-offs, just introducing certain characters. So it was basically just establishing the universe. But within the span of a dozen episodes, you got over a dozen characters. You got at least 2 dozen characters introduced to you, and it was done well. It wasn't like over top or it wasn't like clustered together. And the storytelling, like you said, was top tier, which is something that was really interesting for a Saturday morning cartoon show like this.
Absolutely. Again, we talked about it with Batman. We talked about it back with Gargoyles as well. If you guys haven't seen those episodes, please, check out our Instagram, check out our Facebook, our YouTube. Our YouTube has the entire podcast up there. So go back and watch those episodes, please, and let us know what you think. But yeah, we definitely, I feel like the 94, really around 94 was really like a new era in storytelling for cartoons. I when I think about Spider-Man, I think back to the Michael Morbius storyline when he first introduced Morbius in the show. That was like that whole thing played out like a damn like soap opera, like one of the soap operas I would see my mom or my grandparents watching on Sunday mornings,
right?
Or Sundays afternoon at 1. Yeah, I remember when Days of Our Lives used to come on.
Oh my God, yes, my mother was a fan also. But no, you're not wrong. Between the whole the whole love triangle between him, Felicia, and Peter Parker, and then the whole thing with him actually getting mutating because he experimented with Parker's blood, not accident. And then this also winds up bringing Blade into it, and the Punisher shows up, and that's also something I like to touch on real quick. Is the Punisher appearing, which I thought was really interesting because that was like one of his first big animated appearances, and we all know how Frank Castle gets down. So for them to have him in a Saturday morning cartoon like that, where he's not necessarily dropping bodies, but we know what he's doing, that was something different. And another fun fact: the Punisher's first appearance is in a Spider-Man comic.
Yes, I did look that up, which is really interesting. I love how they pretty much drew those parallels right there. Another thing you brought up Blade. Another thing I found interesting is one, Blade was hella light skin in that show, like as in like skin tone and the colorization of his skin. They had him pretty light as opposed to his comic book counterpart. On top of that, I researched and I saw that Spider-Man got hit. This show got hit with a lot of censorship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, if you watch it, you never throw the punch.
Blood. He can only suck plasma.
Yeah, plasma, not blood for Michael Morbius.
But it made no sense because it says in the theme, it says uses blood in the theme song.
Exactly, spider blood, radioactive spider blood. So I must drink plasma, and the fact that they gave him like a Dracula-esque like
suckers. They gave him suckers in his hand.
Oh my God! I forgot about the suckers in the hand. I haven't had enough tequila yet. I'm not gonna go there. I haven't had enough tequila yet. I'm not going there yet. Give me about 30 minutes. But with Blade, the problem that I had with Blade was that they censored him as well. He had instead of having his normal like his katana, his sword, he had a
fucking lightsaber.
Fucking lightsaber, exactly. and I was like, I don't know.
Because they're trying to sell toys too, so they had to.
Oh,
figure out
yeah.
Very a lot of the stuff in the game is very toy orientated. Like Blade's bike was being able to climb up walls and the whole thing.
Yeah, they made this Blade. This made this nigga Blade damn near Ghost Rider in that show. Who also does make an appearance if I'm
robot
not wrong. Right? Does he? Does Ghost Rider make an appearance?
Not in Spider-Man, no.
Not in Spider-Man. What was the show that he made it? Or did he have his own show?
No, he made an appearance in The Incredible Hulk.
Ah, that's what I'm thinking of.
And that's another thing too that was really different, because there are multiple cartoons in the '90s that were centered around Marvel heroes, from the Silver Surfer having his own cartoon, to the Fantastic Four, to the Incredible Hulk, to Iron Man. There was even an Avengers cartoon in the '90s, but nothing was as popular as Spider-Man. The only thing that came close to Spider-Man that was Marvel related, that was a cartoon, was the X-Men. And the X-Men actually do make an appearance when Spider-Man becomes mutated.
Oh yeah, when he ends up his mutation, his spider mutation ends up growing, and that's, most people have seen that's when he starts growing the multiple arms and stuff.
Yes.
And then eventually ends up mutating completely into like with his whole head becoming a spider. Yeah, back then arachnophobia wasn't really, nobody knew about arachnophobia back then. That episode definitely bothered me and scarred me a little bit.
Oh, yes, when he turned into the man spider.
Yeah, the whole man spider episode, the whole part. I was like, nah, that's wild.
Now, for anyone who's listening who doesn't know what we're talking about, think like Jeff Goldblum's Fly, but a spider.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, great reference. Great fucking reference. Perfect. And that's exactly how it was. And it's not like, oh, he woke up like that. No, you actually watch him mutate on screen. His body morphs.
4 arms first like popping out, and then he's stuck with 4 arms.
Yeah. At first he was like, all right, 4 arms. Okay, they come in handy here and there, catching cars and shit. And again, like I said, I have not had enough tequila yet, so I'm not going there yet. So, but and then eventually, as the show progresses, so does his mutation, and then he ends up becoming full arachnified out. And then how I forget how that ends up getting cleared up for him. It was he ends up getting like de-aged or aged and then de-aged or something, and it pretty much resets his mutation.
That was the second time it happened. That's when the Vulture comes into play. The first time it was picked by Dr. Mariah Crawford, the one who was the girlfriend of the Sergei Kraganov. Better known as Kraven the Hunter. And we will be seeing a movie from them anytime soon, but let's see what happens.
Wait. What's going on with Kraven? I thought they had Aaron. Oh yeah, the writer's strike.
Oh, I'm saying we should be seeing the movie anytime soon, hopefully.
Sound like you said we shouldn't be seeing it anytime soon. I thought something happened. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm partial because I like the actor. We got to see him already in the MCU as Quicksilver. We see him in Legendary's Monsterverse as well. He was in the first Godzilla movie that Legendary did.
Dude, he's kick-ass.
Oh, and he's kick. I was working my way back, and he's kick-ass, and he was kick-ass. So I love him as an actor. So I'm interested to see how they tie Kraven into that Spider-Man universe.
I don't know which universe he's a part of.
Yeah. At this point, they're all the fucking same. At this point, they've already crossed them. They blurred those lines already. My
thing is, like, they keep trying to do a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man, so it's like that's kind of weird.
It is, and I feel like the way they should do it is, Sony has been strictly and solely, really, aside from the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, with this recent rash of films that they've dropped, have really only been like introducing his villains in a way. Like they introduced, they did in Morbius, they did Venom 2, where they introduced Carnage. So I'm interested to see, and now they're doing Craven, and
But
again,
hold on,
Mhm.
not to interrupt you, but let's keep it a stack though. Are those movies good?
Morbius ain't.
Yeah, I can downright tell you Morbius is dog water.
It became a meme.
Yeah, it's a
It tricked the
downright dog
studio
water.
into bringing the movie back. Thinking
Yeah.
people could trick the studio.
Yeah, but Venom 2, I feel like Venom 2 could have been better. But I did enjoy the first Venom movie. I enjoyed it. Doesn't necessarily mean it was a good movie because people have their opinions. But I don't yeah, they in the end they weren't good. Only movies that were good was the Tom Holland's, the movies that Marvel was a part of. So those are the only ones that to me were any good. But but again, we see, even in this game here, like this game draws a lot from, it draws so much from the animated series because of the way that we're introduced to his heroes. I believe in this game he's been Spider-Man for a little while now. He's fought he's
8 years.
already 8 years. So he's already fought Scorpion. He's already fought the Shocker. Actually, we fight the Shocker again in this game towards the beginning of the game. We end up, you see all of them get introduced along the way. And then, of course, this game with its beautiful suit catalog. Oh, I love the suits in these games.
That's another thing I thought that was interesting because if you watch the cartoon, oh my god, if you it's got to be one of those writer mistakes or one of those mishaps, right?
All right, where you going with this? Where you going?
Because you brought up the Shocker, so like the Shocker's name is Herman Schultz, and now Herman Schultz was this 2-bit criminal, and how it's supposed to be that he developed this this weaponry in prison, which is supposed to be where his gauntlets come from. Now, if you watch the cartoon, he was hired by the Kingpin to do a job on Eddie Brock. Now, here's the funny part, because the Shocker winds up getting arrested with Rhino, and they wind up going to prison. Now, for whatever reason, Shocker never took his uniform off. Like he's in the prison cell, in the prison uniform, and he still got his mask on. Like he never took his uniform off. But I thought this was funny as hell because if you watch the same, if you're watching the episode where they formed the Insidious Six, which they couldn't even say,
they couldn't use Sinister.
Yeah, no, they couldn't use Sinister. There was copyrights and all kinds of other shit. So they said Insidious, and I'll let that slide. But here's the thing: I'm not going to let slide. So there is an episode where Matt Gargan becomes a Scorpion, right? Which is in the first season, and the Scorpion becomes a Scorpion, very similar to how Peter Parker becomes Spider-Man, right? But Matt Gargan had a very big gripe because he became stuck in his suit. That was the whole reason why he wanted to kill Jameson. He wanted to use the radiation to make himself normal and everything. Like the whole thing was he was stuck in the suit.
And that's why he was pissed off.
Yes, but if you watch the Insidious 6 episode where they all get breaking out of jail, he's not in his suit when he's in jail.
But Shocker is.
Yes.
What the hell?
He's asleep in his bed, and they take him to like this room where they hold all their gear, and Scorpion puts the suit back on. It was the goofiest shit I ever seen.
What the hell?
Now, as a kid, I didn't catch it. Rewatching it as an adult, I thought it was hilarious.
That's wild. That's that's great. I never noticed that. I never even thought about that. And I love how you bring up Scorpion and how he got his power similar to Peter. And if you watch the series, there's a from the first episode from the beginning all the way to the end, there's one connecting kind of concept or arc, or so it's the mutagenics. Mutagenics. Everything is essentially in a way tied back to them, whether it be Peter and the Spider, Scorpion. They all ended up getting their powers. Morbius, they all ended up getting their powers through some form of like mutant, like pretty much gene splicing, fucking around with shit they're not supposed to be fucking around with. And so I find that really interesting for a show that got censored so hard. Really, again, not being able to use the word blood, not allowing Morbius to drink blood like a regular vampire like he does in the comic books.
Power, they never throw punches.
Oh yeah.
No one has ever once punched in the face.
You're absolutely right.
And laser guns and shit like that.
Yeah. And that's and I find it so hilarious, yet they're okay with people performing experiments on themselves, including Lizard.
Dr. Kirk Connors.
And it made no sense to me. That's when I say at the beginning, when I said goofy masterpiece, that's the type of shit I was talking about. It's a goofy masterpiece. There's certain shit that just didn't make sense for them to do or have there because of the censorship, yet they did other shit, even though that shit should have been censored. Like Mary Jane, like literally we get to see Mary Jane melt into the clone Mary Jane literally get like melt and evaporate as Peter screams at the top of his lungs, no. Come on. That's just traumatizing. It just you're censored, but you're not censored. You're censoring the wrong shit. That's what I meant by a goofy masterpiece. Now, what's an episode in this show that really seared itself in your brain? Something that you always think back to when you think about this show.
Oh, hands down, the alien costume, which was a 3-part episode all about Peter got the symbiote. Now, once again, it doesn't tie into the whole thing with the comics because, as we know, Peter gets the symbiote in the Secret Wars, which does happen at the end of the series, which I thought was interesting. But just like the whole thing with him getting the suit, him becoming a criminal in the public eye, like Jameson putting the bounty on his head, it was just nuts.
For me, it has to be the episode where Mary Jane decides to jump out the window when Peter proposes.
Oh my God! Don't get me started. See, you had to go ahead.
Because it threw me off. I'm like, as a kid, I'm like, yay, they're gonna get married. What the? She just jumps out the window to profess her love, for him to profess his love to her. I'm like, this man has saved you multiple times, countless times. He has protected your city countless times, sacrificing himself countless times. He proposes to you, and you still need him to show his love for you. To me, she was toxic. She was toxic as shit. I couldn't.
But listen, hold on. So we're not going to skate past this like we're not going to talk about it. So one of my biggest interesting things I thought about with this show is that Peter Parker had a lot of love interests.
Yeah.
Now Deborah Whitman wasn't necessarily one of them, but she was someone who hung around Peter. He thought of her like the little sister he never had. So I thought that was cool. You had Felicia Hardy, who was fucking old white money rich. Not even rich. She was wealthy. And then come to find out that shit came from crime. Mm-hmm. So then we had Mary Jane, who's also introduced the same way she is in the comics. I thought that was cool. Even repeating the whole iconic line, "Face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot." That was cool.
Oh yeah. Yep.
The one love interest we didn't see was Gwen Stacy. She's only in one episode.
I think
And that was in an
two.
alternate universe.
Yeah, it was an alternate universe because she was
married to
the rich. Yeah, the pretty much he's Peter Parker, Tony Stark.
Oh
He doesn't have the spider powers, but he has a suit that gives him spider powers.
Oh my God!
Don't get started on Tony Stark. I just said the word, okay? Okay.
Listen, everybody knows how I feel about Tony Stark. He's a cunt in a shiny He's a cunt in a shiny condom.
Yes, we know. Whoa! Oh, there goes the monetization. If it wasn't already gone, it's gone now. Oh shit! If it wasn't gone, it's gone now. But I agree with you. But but it's like, but yeah, that's the only time we really see Gwen Stacy, when they're doing the Secret Wars with the multiverse, and he meets all the other Peters, including Ben Reilly. Now that's something I want to talk about that later in the show, because that was awesome. It was lackluster, but to actually see it come to fruition on television, they did the best they could do with what they had. But you know what? I see where you're going with this with Peter and his love interest. He just has shitty taste in women.
We won't have any problems here now.
It's not the fact he has shitty taste in women. It's the fact that the women that were around him, like, Mary Jane was the one that he was set up with, is the one he winds up falling for in that universe. But it's like Felicia Hardy was well off. She was from a whole other world from him. She saw him as someone who knew about the shit that she was studying in school. So that's one of the reasons why they bonded. And then she winds up falling for I'm not even gonna say it because it's gonna spoil something I want to talk about later. But
yeah, I know what you're going. I know where you're going with this. All right, yeah. But she ended up falling for one dude who ended up not being the right dude. I'll let you touch on that later more. And then definitely with her and are you going with the person that we just talked about, or are you talking about the other dude that she was with after that person left?
I'm talking about the other dude. So hold on.
Okay.
So she winds up falling for Morbius, that's a little bit more acceptable. But anywho.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I know who you're talking about now. I'm on the same page now.
Okay, so like the point I'm trying to make is he was never hurt for women. Like, he had a lot of women around him who could have been his potential love interest, but it's like, between him running off to deal with dudes with mechanical arms and guys that had tails that shoot acid and alien costumes, like, this thing had no time for love.
The guys that run in the walls.
Yeah. No, and I see that. I'll be honest. For me, again, like, I didn't like Mary Jane. I didn't like in the show, specifically in the show, I didn't like Mary Jane for that Peter. I personally did like Black Cat, Felicia Hardy for that Peter. Again, but at the same time, it could have been seen as toxic because it was trauma bonding. He lost Mary J, and she lost Morbius. So they were kind of like trauma bonding on each other, but it was also genuine in a way too, because of the fact that they didn't know who each other were, but they were still kind of they had chemistry outside the suits.
Well, they had chemistry inside the suits too. That was the problem.
Well, listen. The type of chemistry Peter was going on inside his suit was a little different, from the chemistry he had going on outside the suit.
Listen, Felicia Hardy was always attracted to Spider-Man. There was no ifs, ands, buts about that. She just never realized that Spider-Man and Peter Parker were the same person.
Yeah, but again, but Felicia and Peter also had, like, outside the suits, had that chemistry too. So that's why I feel like that's why I felt like it was trauma bonding, but also genuine at the same time. Spider-Man and Black Cat was trauma bonding. Felicia Hardy and Peter Parker, I felt like it was genuine.
I don't know. I can't speak to that. But I'm gonna I was gonna lose my place with this. Oh, so yeah, hold on. So before we go into detail about that, like you said, the whole thing with trauma bonding. Now you said that with the whole thing with him losing Mary Jane. Now talk about what Jack?
No, he's talking to the game.
My God. Yeah, you are bad.
Bro, bro, you don't do that. I'm not gonna lie, I do that. I do that sometimes. When the game be pissing me off, I'm getting into it. I'm like, come on, do something. Beat that.
But no, talk about storytelling, okay? Because one of the things that this show did that I didn't see another cartoon Spider-Man do is this Spider-Man introduced the Hobgoblin.
Ooh, yeah.
Which I thought was really interesting. Now, the whole thing with the Hobgoblin, that story varies depending on which version of the information you're reading or the ones you got.
Exactly. Now, it depends on who the writer is.
The most common version of the story is when it's revealed to be Ned Leeds, and Ned Leeds was brainwashed and that whole shenanigan shit. But the cartoon takes a whole nother depiction on it, which I thought was really interesting.
Agreed. Because they had Hobgoblin as two different people. They had Ned Leeds. You know, it was Ned Leeds, and it was also somebody else after. Well, it was someone at first. I forget his name.
You talking about in the cartoon or the comics?
In the cartoon.
No, it was in the cartoon was one person.
Oh, I thought it switched. I thought it did switch to Ned Leeds.
No,
in the cartoon.
No, Ned Leeds was never the Hobgoblin in the cartoon.
No, so it was just the one guy that that Felicia fell for.
Yes.
I still, for the life of me, I can't remember his name either. But I do like the way they dragged that out. They dragged out revealing who he was for a while there. We didn't find out who he was until like season 3.
Jason Phillips.
Yeah, we didn't find out who he was until like season 3. So
he's introduced in the first season in the 2-part episode, which I thought was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's introduced as a hitman who was hired by Norman Osborn to kill the Kingpin. And Spider-Man saved the Kingpin, not knowing who he was.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Peter Parker saved the Kingpin, not knowing who he was. Which put him in crosshairs with Hobgoblin. Now, the wild part about this shit is that when Daredevil winds up appearing later on in the show, when Spider-Man winds up being framed, Daredevil knew who Kingpin was and broke it down to him, and then he actually relates it back to all the incidents that have happened before. Now, going back to the thing with the Hobgoblin to me was done so coolly, mostly probably because he was portrayed by Mark Hamill.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, thank you for mentioning that. Somebody needed to mention that.
Good old Mr. Hamill, who also portrayed the Joker in the Batman animated series.
Luke Skywalker. He voice acted somebody else too. I can't remember, but yeah. Oh my God, the credentials on that man. Yes. Oh yeah, Trickster. Yep, the Trickster in the original '90s Flash, as well as Grant Gustin Flash as well. So I thought that shit was really cool. I just wanted to make that connection there for everybody.
Right.
If you don't know who Mark Hamill is, you need to get out from underneath that rock that you've been living under.
So when the Hobgoblin winds up crossing paths with Spider-Man, they wind up having like a little personal vendetta because Hobgoblin winds up kidnapping Norman Osborn's son Harry, but in the process of doing this, he hurts Aunt May. So that puts Spider-Man on the warpath. Now, the thing that I thought was really interesting is that Norman Osborn had built all of Hobgoblin's gear, from his wing to his Razorbacks to his smart bombs to his glider, and then basically like set him up to take out the Kingpin. So the thing that I thought was so cool is that while we all know Norman Osborn becomes the Green Goblin, he's basically indirectly responsible for creating himself.
Break that down for me.
So
Hobgoblin's first in the show. So Green Goblin.
Yeah.
The comics the other way around.
Right. So it's explained that Norman Osborn was working on this experimental gas, and in the process of working on it, the container ruptured, and he inhaled the gas. And it's supposed to be that the gas is what creates the Green Goblin. Now, Spider-Man and everyone thought that Norman Osborn died in the explosion. Come to find out, he went to a secret compartment where he kept all his weapons at. And then inside that room was the Green Goblin's was the Hobgoblin's gear. But the gas changed the outfit. It basically it basically like bleached the colors of it and changed it from blue and orange to green and purple. And then as we know, the gas creates the alternate personality, which felt like, oh, Norman was the victim, he was weak, so he needed to protect him. And then the Green Goblin proceeds to wage war on everyone he felt did Norman wrong.
See, now this definitely brings it back for me a lot, because again, I haven't watched the show in a while. I started rewatching it just a little bit, but I didn't get that deep into it. And again, I haven't read the comic books in years and years. I read them back when I was younger. So my grandfather had a huge collection of them. But that definitely brings it back for me. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot about that. Because again, only like at that point, only Goblin I really remember was, the great William Dafoe. Well, actually, no. Let me correct myself. It's Wilhelm. It's Wilhelm. It's not William. It's Wilhelm Dafoe's Goblin, and that and they don't really explain it too much. It's like, oh, he gets hit with the gas, it makes him evil. They didn't explain like the psychology behind it, like the show did.
Yeah, like that gas gave him his strength. It heightened his senses. Like it made him. He absolutely made that man a monster. And then it's like it unlocked that other personality, which was like every bad thought, everything he wished he could have did or could have said. So it's like,
Okay. Now, I like how they carry this over. Like again, like the characters we see in season 1 are characters we see throughout the series, throughout the entire series, all the way to the end. Now we jump forward a little bit into like. So I want to point out again, I'm still stuck on this Mary Jane bullshit. This bitch disappears 2-3 times?
3.
Yeah, 3 times. So the first time is where she ends up falling into like the black hole projector.
nigga, that's not her fault.
The first one's not her fault. You're right. The first one's not her fault. None of that's her
hold
fault.
Hold on.
None of that's her fault.
Since you brought that up, we're gonna tie that back into the comics real quick, because that to me was always that story with Gwen Stacy where she wound up being killed. What?
Where she got her neck snapped by the spider rope?
Yeah. Thank you, Jack. Yeah. Thank you.
People needed to know. They needed to know.
Yeah, I was getting there if this cunt would let me finish. The point that I'm trying to make is that that was them touching on that without it being overly dark. That he did wind up losing the person that he was involved with, the person he loved, because of the Green Goblin.
Yep. And that's my thing. And also, I just want to touch on like a little side part of that. Like there's always this thing about people. Oh well, his villains always love to get Spider-Man an ultimatum. You either save the city or save the one you love. But the Peter Parker and Spider-Man will always try to do both. A Spider-Man will always try to save both and do both. And this is why I'm interested for Into the Spider-Verse 2. That's why I'm really interested in what Miguel had to say to him what we see in the trailer. Because a true Spider-Man, will always try to save both the people he loves and the city. So I just found that really interesting because in that moment, that's what it was. So for anyone who doesn't understand, the first Spider-Man movie where he's fighting Goblin, it pretty much portrays that entire scene, really, where Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin, he's at the top of the, what is it? Well, what bridge? Brooklyn Bridge, one of the bridges. He's at the top of the bridge and he's holding the trolley car in one hand, the cable to the trolley car on one hand, and holding Kirsten Dunst, Mary Jane Watson in the other hand. That scene is damn near cut from the comic books and the animated series. It's either you save the people or you save Mary J. And like it played out exactly, yo. But it was a little different in the animated series. He didn't get to save Mary Jane because she fell into the black hole projector and into some altered dimension that we never find out about. We never find out where she is or where she's been the whole time.
Because we were supposed to find out, but the show got canceled.
Yeah, it got canceled and it ended on a cliffhanger, which pissed everybody off. So, but during the show, we end up seeing the return. We see the return of Mary Jane, which is the one that jumps out the window. We see the return of her. He proposes to her. God. They get married. How is she not dead? How is he not dead? Man was underneath the car. Underneath the car. And watch he get up and walk away. What? That made zero. Okay, video game logic. Back to what I was saying. Yeah. But this is where I feel like the show did start to get a little dark. So he reconnects with Mary Jane. She's back. They get married. But come to find out, this Mary Jane's not even the real Mary Jane. She's a clone of Hydro Man. So like on some real Shape of Water type shit. Like he was really fucking water. Yeah, she was like,
my God.
And what ends up happening is that they pretty much end up defeating Hydro Man, but in doing so, they end up like pretty much end up dematerializing, and it makes Mary Jane Watson unstable as well. The clone unstable. So now, not only did he lose her once into the black hole projector, but he loses her another time when. And it's even harder because it comes to find out it wasn't even the real one. So that brings me back to the point that this Peter Parker, the animated series Peter, had it rough. He had it rough. Like, and then when he actually does find somebody that he thinks he's getting with, he thinks things are building with, she leaves him for a damn vampire.
Listen, she knew Morbius was the one. She had to fall for her quote unquote dark prince. I get it. It is what it is. But hold on. With the whole thing with the Black Cat, let's touch on that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So they completely rewrote that for this cartoon, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
She made her Captain America Super Soldier Serum thing.
Yeah. Instead of her just being a really dope and great ass cat burglar, they actually matter of fact, no, Triage LT, I'll let you take it. I'll let you take it from here. I'll let you explain this part.
So yes, instead of her comic counterpart being just a cat burglar and being proficient with the whole bad luck thing, and I think they did this in an effort to distance her from like the Catwoman of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
They made it so she was actually a prodigy trained by her dad, which I thought was really cool. So
yeah, it
was supposed to be during World War II that her dad was a thief who was hired to steal the Super Soldier Serum, the formula. He was hired to steal the formula of the Super Soldier Serum. Now he fucking memorized it And then shortly after memorizing it, the lab is destroyed, which resulted in Captain America being the only true super soldier. Which also they touch back on later on with the whole thing with the Forgotten Six Warriors, but we'll come back to that. Come back to that.
I was just thinking about that too. Yeah, we'll definitely touch on that in a sec when we get back.
So the Kingpin learns of this and wants to create his own army of super soldiers. So he winds up breaking this dude out of SHIELD headquarters where he's been imprisoned.
Oh, Kingpin is a fucking goon. I would like to point that out real quick. Kingpin is a goon.
Yes.
He's always ready for the shit.
So he breaks him out and then makes him give him the formula. And the only way he could test it to make sure it was 100% accurate was to have him test it on his daughter.
All this goddamn child testing.
Right? So it basically turned Felicia Hardy into a super soldier. And then the other thing that was cool is that Herbert Landon, who was the one who recreated the formula, he also added in a little twist to the point where she could actually change her physical appearance.
Oh yes, which so her suit ends up like materializing and shit.
Her hair changed color and then like she bulked up muscle wise. So I thought that was cool.
Honestly, like, and that's one thing I really didn't understand too well inside of that. I was like, wait, so she can just like on some Iron Man shit, just materialize her suit like nanobots type shit. But yeah, I always found that super super cool. And all the while Peter always had to like either have his suit on underneath his clothing, or he had to dip off to the cut like Superman and put the suit on. Felicia could just be like, snap her fingers, boom, and it just materializes on her. I always thought that was so damn cool. But no, you were saying. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Now, when Felicia starts experimenting with her powers, because this is one of the things that like they never really tested well, but they didn't really show well, was we got the fact that she had the heightened agility, the heightened speed, the heightened strength, but it's like I always took her strength as almost being stronger than him.
Yeah, I mean, because it would kind of like if people could just get bit by a radioactive spider and be as strong as Captain America. I'd rather get bit by a radioactive spider and then rather than experimented on, because from what we've seen, like that transformation from the super soldier serum, it's brutal, it's painful, and it hurts. So I kind of would be like, all right, I would hope that they would have made her stronger than that. You know, it only makes sense. But it's, I don't know, this show, there were so many small nuances of this show. Again, even like you just brought up, even going into the Forgotten Six Soldiers as well. You know, the pretty much a squad that Captain America was rolling with in his time. That they brought them in. They cross over with the X-Men. They cross over with with Punisher, Blade, Morbius. There's even in the X-Men, we actually see him cross over fully with the actual X-Men team. And then, if we go forward a little bit into the Secret Wars, where we actually see, when he actually gets the black suit, we see it in there, where they brought in. I believe like their team was it was Storm, Peter, and a few other people. They do like War World or some shit like that. I forgot what it was called.
Battle World.
And it was pretty much them going against their greatest forces of evil. As much as I thought that was cool to see on TV, I felt like it was a little bit of a cop out from the actual comics as well.
Well, they probably didn't have the okay or the budget to do that. You got to remember, every major Marvel character, as far as I know, was involved in the Secret War.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of them things like, I mean, there's certain characters that they already killed off or they done away with. So it's like, who would they use and would they not use?
True.
So
Granted.
So the characters that they used were for as far as the bad guys were, it was Doctor Doom, Doctor Octopus, the Red Skull, Alistair Smythe, who would become like a Smythe Slayer, like a Terminator, and then the Red Skull.
Mm. And again, that's speaking of Red Skull, here's one person of their version of Sinister Six that we see later on in the show. You would think we'd see him in the beginning, but we actually see him like not until like the third or fourth season. Electro. And come to find out, he is actually
Red Skull's
stepson, his stepson,
mm-hmm.
that he ended up experimenting on with a version of the super soldier serum, which gave him the powers to control electricity. What did it say? Oh, but no, I find so many little nuances of the show. Like, we're so interested in. Again, I definitely want to give a big shout out to the writer. Like, the writer of the show, like, he made sure, so a little fun fact I learned. He wasn't allowed. Every single episode of Spider-Man was supposed to be one-off standalone episodes. They literally told him that he was not allowed to do storylines. And guess what he did?
He said, fuck you, I'm doing it anyway.
This motherfucker said, fuck you, and he did storylines. Full story arcs. Like, each season has a name. Like, each season has a full actual name. And I just find that shit so damn cool. That, like, he went against the grain like that. And again, it was the first black show writer on a daytime cartoon.
Right. And another thing I thought that was interesting, which might have been an influence because he was the first black show writer. There was not a lack of representation in this cartoon.
Not at all. Oh my god, it was just so mixed, and it was great.
Because if you look at some of the characters who got introduced to the one taxi driver, I forget her name, who had like the hippie vibe to her, to the detective Terry Lee, who was always running around in a pink miniskirt, but whatever, I'll not go along with it. to them bringing Blade in, to them bringing in the Prowler, to them bringing in the Rocket Racer.
Oh shit! I forgot about him. Oh, wow, nice. I completely forgot about that.
All right. Let's not forget about my son. Another thing I thought that was always really cool was the way they introduced my son, Ellsworth Lonnie Thompson Lincoln, better known as Tombstone.
My God. Which is dope that you bring him up, because we actually see him in the DLC for the Spider-Man game. I don't know if you played it, but honestly, it was great. It was great. His story, like, it was great.
Drugs are maybe my most disliked criminal activity. Definitely top 5.
And I like the fact that they tied his origin into Robbie, and that they were old friends and how their lives went down separate paths. Like, I thought that was really cool. Like, they made Tombstone into a monster. Like, he was that guy. So I remember that one time when he's fighting Spider-Man, and there's like this gas that was filling up the room that was suffocating him. And he's like, you got to let me go, or we're both gonna die. He's like, man, speak for yourself. I don't breathe. I was like, oh shit.
He's like, whoa, hey, yo, damn. Yeah, you picked the wrong one today, Spider. You picked the wrong one. Even in the game, dude, he is such a badass. Like, he's he's such a damn badass, bro, in this game. Like, it's so, like, he gives zero fucks.
Like that was the one guy who I would have loved to have seen tangle with Luke Cage.
Ooh. Speaking of Spider-Man games, I just want to point out one Spider-Man game that I really love. Like I said, I love this game, but Web of Shadows for the 360 was great. Web of Shadows was great because it literally, like, the main villain in that, which is why I'm interested in Spider-Man 2 coming out for P5, is Venom. The number one villain in Web of Shadows is Venom. And Venom, like, as you play the game, Venom ends up taking over the entire city. Like, to the point, like, you're fighting, like, Venomized, like, essentially putties from Power Rangers in a way. And you can switch back and forth between the regular Spider-Man suit and the black symbiote suit. I just want to point out, anybody that didn't play as a black symbiote suit that game, you're wild. You're wild. The black symbiote suit was way stronger than his regular suit. Way stronger.
If anyone's wondering why I'm not going to this mission quest, that boring ass Mary Jane mission, we got to sneak in the damn museum. That's the only reason why I haven't done it.
Damn.
That's why I haven't done this. That's why I haven't gone over there.
I hate that sneak mission. That sneak mission is ridiculous. Ridiculous. So now,
and you can't skip it. So
yeah, which is ridiculous. Now, out of all the crossovers, all the cameos, which one would you say is your favorite?
What crossover or cameo?
Yeah.
Oh, well, if I had to pick a favorite crossover after rewatching it now,
mm-hmm.
Why don't you run?
What?
No, he's talking to the game again.
Oh, God damn it, Jack. It would have to be the Secret Wars.
I feel like the holdup guys are phoning it in lately.
Damn, that's why they did it, because that's my favorite as well. You know, that really is. But the only thing I didn't like about that is, like, it. My bad. No. I'm thinking of.
I like the Spidey Wars more.
Yeah, I'm crossing. I'm blending Battle World and Secret Wars and the Spidey Wars together.
Now, the reason why I say that over the Secret Wars is because I appreciate it more because it's more of a crossover because he's dealing with other characters in Marvel Universe opposed to just leading a team of himself.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Like, he literally had to team with himself and lead himself to stop himself.
Drug deals and criminals.
Oh yeah.
Because let's not forget, he was the bad guy of that whole story too. So it's like,
oh yeah,
Carnage.
Spider Carnage. Now, can we just take a moment to just admire that Spider Carnage suit? That suit was fire. That suit was so goddamn dope.
It's the 90s Spider-Man suit with the cross thing on it with the Carnage.
Yeah, it's so dope. So damn dope. Like it's like a perfect fusion between Peter and Carnage. Well, Spider-Man and Carnage with that suit. Unlike where it's with the black suit, it's just like the black suit just takes over. As you can see, as he's playing right now, he's in the animated series accurate black suit. Which I found super interesting the way they did it as opposed to other people. Like, if you look at Sam Raimi, his black suit is literally just a Spider-Man suit, just all blacked out. But now, if you look at the animated series suit, it's and again, I want to point out, this is where Venom gets his whole decal. This is where Venom gets the spider powers from. Venom is not a spider type alien. It's not. The symbiotes can when they fuse with the host, they hold a piece of that host's DNA. And since Spider-Man was pretty much a mutant spider dude, Venom, when he left Peter and went to Eddie, he carried that DNA with him. So Venom is able to use pretty much, literally, not pretty much, but literally every single strand of DNA from every single host he's ever had. And for anyone that needs to know, we touched on Venom way back when we first started up the show. All those episodes are on Spotify. The Venom and Symbiote episode, we touched upon it, where it's the what I call it. It's the God symbiote or what is it? Bone grinder? No, not null. Bone grinder symbiote. Bone grinder venom. Or the bone garden venom. Pretty much the world, all the heroes and everything die. These AI take over the world or whatever, and the only person that's left is Venom. So Venom leaves Earth, goes back to his home planet, and because he fused with so many different heroes, he begins to multiply himself and start using all these other heroes' powers and abilities to terraform this planet. And he ends up creating a whole civilization, an entire planet of living organisms that happen to be a part of a symbiote. So again, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, he got that from Venom. No. Venom, that white spider on Venom's chest was not there. And a lot of people talking trash about, about the Venom movie because he didn't have the white spider. I'm like, no, he didn't have the white spider until he runs into Peter. That's when he gets the white spider. That's when his webs stop coming from from the bottom of his wrist and start coming from the top of his hand. That's actually something that I didn't notice when I was younger.
Yeah, because the webs came out on their own.
Yeah, he has a web slinger. The white patch on Venom's hands, that's where his webs come from. This man swings from webs in a fist. He swings from webs in a fist. Unlike with Spider-Man, he shoots his web from the bottom of his wrist and then breaks the web off into his hand and holds the web and swings.
Right. And let's talk about that whole thing with the suit real quick, because that's definitely shown and reflected in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, where Peter Parker falls asleep and then has a nightmare as the symbiote crawls over him, and then he wakes up hanging upside down in the middle of Manhattan in a costume he's never seen before.
Oh God, I love that scene so much. I love that scene. Don't do me wrong. I don't really like that movie that much because I feel like they could have did better.
Because Raimi didn't want to use Venom yet.
But he didn't want to use Venom yet. He didn't want to use Venom yet because that movie was supposed to be Sinister Six. He was trying to do Sinister Six with that movie, but they're like, no, we want to push Venom. So they ended up pushing Venom, and he did whatever he could do with it. But no, I loved it. I love that scene so much. I love the black Sam Raimi suit. I do. I really do. I do. But nothing beats the animated series of a comic book, black suit. I don't know. Which one do you like better?
What are we talking about?
Oh shit, the black suit. Which black suit design do you like better?
The one with the white spider. Nothing will ever be the one with the white spider.
Always. Yeah, anyone that doesn't pick the white spider as their favorite, like, I just feel like it adds such an accent to the suit. Hell, speaking of Venom, because throughout Venom's history, I just want to do a quick side tangent for Venom. Purple Venom or blue Venom? Because throughout his history, he's been drawn to have purple accents, and he's been drawn, as we can see in the suit, to have blue accents.
Ultimate Venom is purple.
Yeah. Which one would you pick? Or do you like better, the design? Purple, purple highlights or blue?
Ultimate Venom is more... His story is more connected to Peter even more.
What about you, LT?
because it's not an alien suit in Ultimate Universe. It's something that Peter and Eddie's father made.
Yeah, I didn't care for that arc at all. I didn't
Me
like that
neither.
whole
It was
thing.
stupid. I found it dumb.
The look was cool, but other than that. But no, I'm gonna go with the one from the cartoon where he's accented in blue on one side and red on the other.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Because when Spider-Man had the symbiote, he was just accented in blue. But once Eddie Brock had it, he was accented on blue on one side and red on the other.
Which I loved. I loved that so much in the animated series because it really brought a slight emphasis on Eddie's duality. Because Eddie wasn't really a bad guy. He really wasn't a bad guy.
He wasn't.
It was based off his circumstances that he was thrown into. And that's why Venom isn't a villain. He's an anti-hero. Sometimes he helps, sometimes he don't. It depends on however the fuck Eddie and him are feeling.
Well, it's also one of the things like, Eddie Brock blamed Peter Parker for blamed Spider-Man for ruining his career. And then the symbiote blamed Spider-Man for almost killing it. So it's like once they fuse, they just bond over their hatred of him.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when they figured out that Peter and Spider-Man were the same person, it was like, oh, okay, yeah. All right. It was at that point it was greenlit. He was greenlit. And he is. He really is. Oh, I just want to make a quick comment about this game. So in this game, when you kick somebody off of the building, you can see like a spider probe like fly out, and it grabs them and attaches them to the wall, so they don't fall. But in Miles Morales, they hit the floor. You hit them off the building, they hit in the ground. Wow!
You're saying the Black Spider-Man be killing people?
He's
trying to say
he be murking them. My boy's from Harlem. He ain't got time for that. He ain't got time for all this saving lives.
He's from Brooklyn, actually, but
Brooklyn. My bad. I'm sorry. You're right. I don't know why I said Harlem. I don't know. I don't know why. I was yeah. And in the game, he moves to Harlem. No, I'm sorry. That's why I was. I don't know why I was saying. But I was also thinking of Luke Cage at the same time. I don't know why. This tequila really hitting. Thank you, Terramana. Please sponsor us. But yeah, it's What was I saying? I completely lost my train of thought now. I just want to point out to people it's about to get real stupid because tequila definitely hitting me now. Anyways, as I was saying, again, and that just goes in to show that Jesus, this show had it revolutionized the way people looked at Spider-Man. It revolutionized. What was the series before 90s Spider-Man? Was it Spider-Man and Amazing Friends?
Yes.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't know about anybody else, but I actually went back and watched Spider-Man and Amazing Friends, and I liked it. It was fun. It was really fun to watch. But we see Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends, and Spider-Man, he's just like he's witty. It's so lighthearted and upbeat.
It's in the 60s. The 60s cartoon
60s.
you expect from the 60s.
Yeah, it was so lighthearted and upbeat, but then
when 70s, it's like
and then the 90s hit.
Camp. It's Super Friends campy.
It is Super Friends campy big time. But when we see 90s, when we see the 90s Spider-Man, although it's censored, like I really want to keep pointing out, it was really quite censored. If it wasn't that censored, it would have been on par with Batman. Remember in the last episode when we talked about Batman animated series,
sorry, I got shit falling over here.
It's all good. We touched upon Spider-Man animated series and how it still didn't really reach the greatness as Batman the animated series. And I really want to
they're both in the same network.
Yeah, same network, but I want to attribute Spider-Man's pretty much failed success. The reason why it didn't hit as hard as Batman animated series was because of that censorship. Because again, all throughout Spider-Man, we don't see a real gun. We never see a real actual bullet gun.
It never that's the one thing that doesn't show Uncle Ben's death either.
Exactly. we all see lasers and stuff, but in Batman, we see actual guns, we see knives, we see swords and stuff like that, and it's because they're I forgot what her title is in her name, but she was a person in charge of what is allowed on TV and what is not allowed on TV. She pushed super hard for Batman the Animated Series to have the level of violence that it had in it. I feel like if they took everything that they censored out, from Morbius to Blade to not being able to use the word blood to all that, took all that censorship out and let the show be organic like that, this show would have been on par and or possibly greater than the actual show.
Well, it got canceled.
Yeah. Hold on. We actually have a comment here coming in. Let's see. I like Spider-Man PS4 gameplay. I should go back and play this game, man. You absolutely should. Right now I'm in the process of running the New Game Plus on it, and it's great. I'm also going back and playing Miles Morales as well, which is also a great game as well.
Get it done before September.
Oh.
Speaking of that, big announcements on Tuesday.
Keep an eye out on GameSpot.
24th.
Yeah, the 24th is when they're going to be dropping information about Spider-Man 2 on PS5. Why did we just say the same thing at the exact same time?
We're thinking the same shit.
Yeah, saying the same thing at the exact same time.
I'll play it, but I'm not in no hurry to play it.
Really?
I'm in a hurry to play.
I'm not wild by these Spider-Man games.
Really? Why is that? I want to dive into that real quick. Why is that? Well, what do you not like about it? What do you like and what do you not like about it?
I don't know. Like, I'm not sure if it was the way that it was set up, if it was the story, because a game should always be a certain level of hard.
Yes. Yeah.
Or let's say a certain level of challenging. But if I already know what's about to happen, or if I can see what's happening, or if the story is boring to me, I'm not wowed by it. I mean, come on, man. We all knew what was going to happen with the Thinker and the whole thing with Miles, and it's like I wasn't shocked by none of that.
That was obvious.
I mean, that's obvious, but again, you can only do so much with a character that has been flushed out for years. For a character that's been flushed out even before American Power Rangers, dude.
But that's not true. That's not true at all. Because the Thinker in the Miles game was a female. It's not a Thinker any other time or any other media.
Well, she was a Thinker. She was Tinkerer.
You know what the fuck I mean.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. No, I really didn't. I really thought you meant Thinker. That's why you kept saying Thinker. I was like, Thinker. But again, I didn't know that. I will point out that I didn't know that. So when I played Miles Morales, it was everything was brand new to me. I didn't really know a lot about Miles to begin with. So for me, it was like, oh damn. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have ADHD. So people with ADHD, we have this uncanny ability of seeing shit before it happens. When we're watching a show or a movie, we know what's going to happen before it's happened because we can look at context clues and be like, well, if I was the writer of the show, this is what I would do next. So for me, yeah, I kind of saw it. I did kind of see it coming, but what wowed me was the storytelling, how everything played out more so. I knew that she was Tinkerer, but it was new to me as in just like the concept and the way they played it out and the abilities and what you had to do to finish it. I just want to point out, I don't know about anybody else, but when I finished Miles Morales, I finished in the red and black camo with the hood up. I finished in that one with the boots. I finished in that militant suit. Oh my god, that suit was so fire, so fire.
Plus, I finished in the one the Prowler gave him.
I can't remember when I finished the suit, and I can't remember what suit I finished the game in. I can't remember. It's been so long.
Damn.
Bitch ass shag.
But the one that
hey!
It's been
What's
a minute.
That for?
Once we finish the game, we don't touch it again. Really. Once we
we
don't touch it.
But that's another issue too, because any good game, in my opinion, should have a high replay value.
Agreed.
Once I beat those, I don't want to play them again.
Granted, yeah, and and honestly, Miles, I did want to replay Miles. The first Spider-Man, not so much, but what really did it for me is when because they redid Peter for Miles. They redid the
changed
Peter.
him in the freaking re-release too, which pisses me off. They changed his freaking face.
So they changed his face in the remaster for this game right here that Jack's playing, and then they also that remake that they did of him, they carried him over to Miles Morales, which threw me off. I didn't like that. I don't like that at all. Nope. And then they try to play off, oh yeah, no, Tom Holland's done. This character looks nothing like Tom Holland when the character looks like fucking Tom Holland. When they redid his face and did a reskin of his face, they redid his mocap face. He looks like Tom Holland. He literally looks like Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, and Andrew Garfield. Their faces put together.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. That's a lot. Don't get me wrong. He looks organic, but he looks like all three of them. He has certain features of all three of them put together. But my thing is, you already gave us one. You gave us one. We were cool with that. We like that. That's the way your Spider-Man's gonna look. That's the way your Spider-Man's gonna look.
They changed it because of the actor difference, I guess. They said they wanted to make it look like a little more like the voice actor, but he already looked like the voice actor.
Exactly. He already looked like the voice actor. But see, here's the problem. Because if you
I don't care if he looks like the voice actor or not. It's not like I can see the voice actor.
Exactly. I want to play the game. But for me, I don't like the fact that they broke their own continuity with that, though. You know what I mean? It bothers me. I feel like if you got a game going on, man, like keep it consistent, keep it together. If not, I feel like it breaks the integrity of the game for me.
That's why
it breaks that immersive experience. But again, I'm not going back and playing this game again. I played it before. I played it through. Honestly, I 100%ed the main story. I 100%ed the Black Cat DLC. I have not 100%ed the
Hammerhead.
I was really close. I was really
that Hammerhead
close.
shit made no fucking sense.
Yeah, I was really close to doing that, but it just really didn't make that much sense to me. But then there was okay, I'm blanking on this one. There was Black Cat. There was Silver Fox, right? That was hers.
Silver Sable's the last one.
Silver Sables was the last one. And there was Tombstone. Yeah. Tombstone is Hammerhead, right?
No, Tombstone's in the main game, I think.
Yeah, Tombstone is the main game.
Yeah, Tombstone's main game. And then Hammerhead, I almost 100% at the Hammerhead DLC. But Silver Sable, I can't. For some reason, I can't bring myself to finish it. So I'm good on the game. I'm good. But Miles Morales, I don't know. There's something about how black that game is. That game is so black. I love it. I can't get enough of it. From the time that we first see Miles at the start screen, my boy is wearing the puffy North Face with the fur and Timbs with the mock Beats by Dre on.
Spider suits. First Spider suits that. Besides that stupid, retarded, freaking jumpsuit that Peter gives him.
Yeah, that jumpsuit was wild ugly. Why would Peter give him that? Why would he give him that?
No one ever said Peter Parker had a sense of style.
He does because he built his suit.
No, actually, Dr. Octopus built that suit with the White Spider.
Yep.
With the White. Oh, you're right.
Yes,
right. I forgot because Peter was working on it, and he came back, and he came back, and Octavius had finished it. Speaking of Octavius, for those of you who don't know, fucking Dr. Otto Octavius is from Schenectady, New York. Big ups to the 518 in Schenectady. Dr. Octopus is from Schenectady, New York. I never knew that until I played this game. That is so dope and so wild as fuck. I love that shit. I love it so much. Because at the end of the day, it's not like Mickey Rourke is really representing us. Yes, Mickey Rourke is from Schenectady as well.
So is Pat Riley.
Well, yeah. So is Pat Riley. It's not like Pat Riley did a little bit because he got the center for the high school, but he really ain't repping us. Mickey Rourke done had all this goddamn plastic surgery to look like a big ass blow up doll. He ain't repping Schenectady no more either. For anybody who don't know, Will Smith's first wife is from Schenectady. Yep, his first wife is from Schenectady. So, anyways, I'm sorry for the quick tangent, but we'll bring it back. Yeah, Miles Morales. I feel like Miles has more replay value than this one does. It has way more replay value. Just because I like running around in a suit that got the Timbs on it.
Nigga.
I know why.
Just so they know which Spider-Man was here. Just so they know which Spider-Man was here. When they see that Timberland, when they see that Timberland boot print on that hooligan's face, they know what Spider-Man did it. They know which Spider-Man did it. I'm sorry. Dude, you don't understand how much pride I took in beating these villains' asses with the Timberland boots on. Now, granted, I personally don't wear Timbs myself. I find out that they are just the most uncomfortablest ass boots in the world. But only way they could have made that suit better is giving him black Air Forces to go with his black and red suit.
Well, he got the red and black Jordans on now.
Exactly. So I feel like that's an equivalent. I'll take that. Like with Miles Morales, I will literally sit there, turn the game on, get to the start screen, and just sit there at the start screen because that intro music on the start screen is fire. That beat is fire. The music for Miles Morales, everything about Miles Morales is just so much better than the first game. So much better. But yeah,
the reason why I'm not playing the Miles Morales is because the thing wouldn't make sense for theming.
It would not have, which I appreciate and I respect. Thank you. And guys, I just wanna thank Jag for what he does here. So these gameplays that we're watching right now, these are from his PC. He goes out and he'll rebuy the game, even though he's already played it on console. He'll rebuy the game, buy air quotes, buy the game.
Nope, this is what.
Yeah, this one's bought. This one is bought, but he'll go out and rebuy the game just so we're able to watch him play it as we do these. You know, this man spends his own money on these games that we get to watch. And he takes the time to go through and mod these games himself. He gets the mods, he puts them in himself, he does it all himself. This so for your viewing pleasure, for everyone's viewing pleasure.
Yuri sit quietly.
You know, and I just definitely want to thank him for coming out and doing this, because I want to let you know soon, very soon, we're going to be transitioning from American cartoons and we're going to start doing a little bit more on anime. And I want to let y'all know the first anime we're doing in honor of Saiyan Jag is we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball. Whether it be Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, the Heroes, we don't know yet.
Even GT, even though I don't like it.
Wait, whoa. You're willing to talk about GT?
Yes.
I don't want to talk about GT. I don't want to talk about GT because I didn't really watch GT. I didn't watch GT. And I'm not going back and watching GT.
Well,
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'll let you talk about it. Car right
down there.
So and hopefully by the time we talk about anime, hopefully Budokai Tenkaichi 4 is out.
Under that car. Need to hurry.
Hopefully that's out by then, so we actually get to see new gameplay from a new game, and we get to see that out here. But yes, bringing it back to Spider-Man the animated series. You know, there was I just don't know what else to say about this show, man. It's and again, I truly feel like if there wasn't for the censorship, it would be on par with Batman the animated series.
It did have video games too.
Oh yeah, it did. You're right, it did.
It was
It
for
did.
Super NES, but it was very hard because you got stuck. Like all the games from that era were very hard.
Yes, and wasn't the Spider-Man and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, wasn't it like based off the Spider-Man animated series?
Everything back then was like the logo from that.
Yeah. So again, and the greatest Marvel vs. Capcom game, in my opinion, is Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yep.
I don't know about did that garbage truck just completely disappear?
Yep.
Well, damn. All right, but yes, no, man. This Triage, you got anything else that you would like to point out about this show that really stood out, beyond any other '90s series?
Let's see. Representation. We talked about.
Tears up the cart.
The one thing I thought that was really interesting at rewatching it as an adult was the dialogue that I really appreciate is because like they displayed certain characters displayed subtle levels of intelligence that you don't see in other cartoons. Like they'll be in the middle of a fight and someone will quote Nietzsche, like it was just mad random.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I never really, there were a lot of really great like real world quotes in this. Part of my slurred speech, I get the Terramon is hitting right now. But yeah, there were a lot of like really awesome, especially Goblin. Definitely Kingpin. Kingpin was number one for that shit. Like there was a lot of really great quotes in this. Like, I just want to point out, that this Spider-Man was the most quippy Spider-Man. He was so quippy, so witty. He always had something to say. He was always talking some shit. He was always saying something smart, which honestly, I feel like to me, that's what gave him the upper hand. Because like he'll say some shit and it will piss off his it will piss off the his enemy so bad to the point where they lose control and rage out, and at that point he's able to pretty much get the upper hand on him. He was always in it to piss him off.
Yeah, like he's fighting Tombstone and he jumps onto the roof and he goes, "Come down here and fight like a man." He goes, "I don't suppose you come up here and fight like a spider." Or like the crossover when they fought when he was with the X-Men. So Spider-Man wanders into the danger room and the program Deadly Sentinels was running. Storm comes in hurling lightning. Power of lightning, strike again. He goes, power of web shooters, get really sticky.
Oh, poor Mary Jane. For those of you who don't know and don't get that reference, in the comic books, Jack, would you like to tell them what happens in the comic books and the reason why I make that joke?
One universe you didn't know that.
He doesn't even want to say it. He doesn't even want to say it because of
Jack, don't be a bitch. Spit it out.
It comes out of all holes.
He's gonna say it comes out all holes, and it comes out radioactively. So for those of you who don't want us to be politically correct, Spider-Man fucked Mary Jane, busted a spider nut in her, and because the spider nut was radioactive, the bitch died.
Better find a back way in.
Will you stop whispering?
I didn't whisper.
Oh, I thought that was Jackson just whispering. Sorry.
No, that was a game. That was a game.
I ain't whispering.
Yeah, that was man. So in the comic books, that happened in one year. Does anybody know what universe that was in?
I have no clue.
No clue.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that as well. Oh my god, that's fucked up. That means in Spider-Verse, one of those Spider-Man in there was that Spider-Man. So when I see that movie, I'm gonna be looking for the one Spider-Man that's all the way in the back, not saying shit, not talking to nobody, not being a part of the situation at all. Because he's the one that killed Mary Jane.
Wild guess. Those guys breaking in don't ever.
Now, I also want to give a shout out to the voice actor of Peter Parker in the animated series, Christopher Daniel Barnes. Christopher Daniel Barnes. Oh my god, like his voice acting and in this show was absolutely amazing. That's hilarious. Spider-Man Spider Nut killing MJ. Spider Nut. I'm sorry. I just want to apologize to any of the children that are under a certain age watching. I want to apologize to their parents. Not really. They're gonna learn eventually. But no, I want to point. I definitely want to shout him out because like his voice acting in this show, especially when the real hard, real harsh scenes, like you really felt like you felt that goddamn this shit just really happened. Also want to give a shout out to the voice actor of Kingpin, which I didn't realize until I started doing more research, is a black man. Shout out to Roscoe Lee Brown.
Kingpin's a black man in one universe.
Roscoe Lee Brown. It just the voice acting for Kingpin was just absolutely amazing, and he's an old school actor. He's from back in the day, So I definitely he passed away back in 2017 of cancer, but like he was one of the I don't want to say underrated, but anything, but he's like in 1961, like he appeared notably with James Earl Jones. We all know who James Earl Jones is in the original off-Broadway cast of Gene Garnett's landmark play The Blacks. Like this man was on the level of Sidney Poitier. So I just really want to give him his roses for the work that he's done, the work that he did, because again, I'm a 90s baby. I was born in 94. I was born in 94. So, and it was a long time before I was able to see or hear the fact that, Kingpin was black. He was a black voice actor. And I love that so much. And especially being a podcast producer, being a black creator, that shit just, I love it so much, and it gives me so much inspiration to keep going and to keep getting to the point where my name gets put along with the greats. And anytime I see there's a black voice actor back from before I was born, I love it. And again, as you guys all know, if you guys have been following the show, we are such a pro-black show. The amount of time, if we had $1 for every time we said the word nigga on this show, be wild. If you look at our first episodes where we posted them on Spotify, we got Black Panther, Black Manta. We talked about Painkiller in in an episode or two. We're such a pro, and to see that just it warms my heart and really inspires me to keep going. In this entertainment business. I don't know about you guys or how it makes you guys feel, but that's how it makes me feel. And I just feel like it's amazing. The voice actors of the 90s, like they're the voices that we all know and that we all love. So if you have a show that's back from the 90s, really look into it, man, because those are the voices, and really show that shit love. because those are the voices that we carry with us for the rest of our lives. Anytime they have a reiteration of a character, a new version, a new spin-off of a character, we always think back to, I like the original voice better, or it's not good than better than the original voice. Those original voices were everything, everything. So I don't know. That's just what I think on it. And again, on top of that, speaking of black voice actors that were in Spider-Man the animated series, Dawn Lewis played the voice of Detective Terry Lee. She's a strong, black voice actor and actress as well. So she really did her thing in that show as well. So I just want to give a shout out to all the black voice actors from before I was born back in the 90s, whether it's Spider-Man the animated series, whether it's X-Men, whether it's Batman, whether it's Incredible Hulk or any of the other shows. Hey, Triage.
Yep.
Did you know that Jim Cummings played Shocker?
I did not know that, but that makes sense.
Yeah. And that is like, oh my God, I love that so much. Again, veering off from the black voice actors. Jim Cummings is his record for voice acting is wild. Is wild. Some of you may know him as, correct me if I'm wrong, Winnie the Pooh.
He is Winnie the Pooh.
He is Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh's a chronic masturbator.
Nigga, what did you say?
Winnie the Pooh is a chronic masturbator.
Okay, so it's half the men in the world these days.
Listen, he always speaks in a low, satisfied tone. His hand's always covered in some sticky substance. For whatever reason, he never wears pants. I'm just saying, the evidence is there. You just gotta see it.
Okay. Listen, I just want to point out, I'm not arguing with you on this. I'm not denying it. I'm not saying you're wrong. But I don't see the problem.
I do.
That knock him all the way to the other room. Wow.
What's the problem? What's the problem you see with Winnie the Pooh being a chronic masturbator?
I don't feel like we should be talking about that on this channel. I feel like we need to move back to the subject. I was point out the obvious.
We're talking about the subject, man.
You should have brought it up. You can't, bro. You know how this podcast gets, bro. You cannot say Winnie the Pooh is a chronic masturbator and then not expand on that. You already opened up Pandora's box by saying that shit.
No, if I wanted to open up Pandora's box, I would tell you my theory about Kirby. But anywho, so the point.
Bro, I know your theory on Kirby. You need to tell them your theory on Kirby. Jag, have you heard his theory on Kirby?
No. Oh, what he is?
Yeah.
I think I know what he is. What he was referring to.
Because I think we talked about it when we were out at Saratoga Comic Con. I think we talked about it when we were chilling in the hotel room. I think we talked about it. Listen, we're already demonetized, bro. You
said the one banned word on the list twice.
You said the C word, bro. We're done. We're over, bro. No, it's no holds bar now, bro.
Listen, I was just stating facts. Y'all brought up Mr. Stark. That's how I feel about him, all right? It's not my fault when I speak my truth, it becomes an issue.
No one's saying that it's an issue. I don't give a damn if we're monetized or not. You heard me, YouTube. I don't give a damn. But you just can't say Winnie the Pooh's a chronic masturbator and not elaborate.
Just saying.
Oh my
But I interrupted you. Where are we going with your point?
But anyways, Jim Cummings is a legend. He's a voice acting fucking legend. And to see, again, like you said, the soft-spoken, chronic masturbating Winnie the Pooh Oh, he also played Tigger too. A lot of people don't know he also played Tigger.
That nigga's got ADHD.
But here's the thing. If you look at each and every character of Winnie the Pooh, they are all based off of a mental disorder, whether it be bipolar, depression, anxiety. Like they're all based on. They all have a different mental disorder. Christopher Robin fucked them up, bro.
Eeyore, I'm surprised he's not trying to have people. Nope. Not going that one.
No, guys. God damn it! No, you can't open. You can't open the doors and then close it like that.
Well, we already know what Eeyore's problem is.
Oh my god! You guys can't open the doors and not. I just want to let y'all know. You know that's going into a reel, right?
It's fine. I'm okay with that.
Because I know you felt some kind of way about the prep time episode.
Listen, everyone knows my feelings on that too, Jack.
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, heads up, we gotta do a plug real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, soon we will be launching our Fuck Prep Time merch wear. So we're going t-shirts, hats, sweaters. Hell, if I can get them on shorts, I'm putting them on shorts. This is going to be our first sellable piece of merch. Fuck Prep Time. On the front, it says Fuck Prep Time. And on the back, it has a list of characters who, if Prep Time was such a big thing, they should never lose. If Prep Time is all it takes to be a fucking beast and kill gods, these motherfuckers on the back of this shirt should have never lost. Ever. So please keep a lookout for that. We will be posting it on our page when we are ready to get that out. Yes, okay. Granted, the price may be a little bit on the high end, but listen, niggas, we just getting started, so we gotta get the price up there. Plus, it costs a lot to get these made on the level of what's it called? Print to order.
Black business.
Yep. Oh, goddamn, Jack. Oh, goddamn. Oh, goddamn. Oh, shots fired. We support black businesses here, okay? We do. We love you. Y'all just need to stop having your prices so goddamn high and let us buy some. But yes, Jim Cummings. Yes, yeah. So keep a lookout for our merch wear. Fuck Prep Time. It's coming out soon. Keep an eye out for it. But
I guess his name matches. I guess that makes sense for his name, huh? And the character he plays, huh?
What?
Jim Cummings playing Winnie the Pooh, the chronic masturbator.
You opened that can of worms. You did it.
You did it. You opened up the hole.
Listen, I did open up the can of worms. You're right, but you fuckers are eating them with a spoon.
I've had a whole glass of Terramana tequila right now. Dwayne Gerard Johnson, Terramana, please sponsor us. I had a whole glass, so I'm on one right now. I let it be known. And I forewarned everyone that's watching the podcast beforehand of what's about to go down. Did or did I not?
That's the story you're telling.
If it's recorded, it is live. It is live. Ladies and gentlemen, level 7s. If you please let him know, put it down in the comments. If did you or did you not hear me say the Terramana is hitting right now? And I'm not, or even earlier in the show, I'll let it be known I hadn't had enough of it to be talking about the fact that Peter Parker loved the fact that he had multiple arms, or the fact that Morbius had suckers in his hands. And I'm still going to leave it alone out of respect. I'm sorry. I went off. I went off on a little bit of a tangent here, but yeah. So I definitely want to give a shout out to all the voice actors that are on the show. You guys made our childhood with this show. Shout out to the writer. You made our childhood with the show. The producers, the directors, the illustrators. You know, you guys absolutely, if you're watching it, if you happen to stumble across this sometime in the future, you guys did an amazing job, and we seriously thank you for what you guys did for in our childhood with this show, and what you guys have done for the character with this show alone. You revolutionized the character for decades, and for decades to come. So this is my standpoint on it. How do you guys feel? Like your final thoughts before we close out. Each of you guys, I want to hear you guys' final thoughts on Spider-Man animated series.
Listen, you had to be there, man. If you weren't there Saturday mornings with a big ass bowl of cereal and my Kendrick Lamar voice, cartoons and cereal. If you weren't there sitting there chilling, you where were you? Like you had to be there.
At that point, they were either poor, like I said, they were either poor, or still in their father's nutsack.
Really sit quietly. Better find a back way in.
But what about you, Jag? What's your final words on the show?
Man, no one gives a fuck what he thinks.
God damn it, leave him alone. Leave Brittany alone.
Wow, gonna come at me that hard, huh? What I do to you, man?
Not harder than Winnie the Pooh. Oh, I just want to point out, we do point out before we start the show that this, in the words of Dave Chappelle, best not bring your kids. But yeah, Jack, what are your final thoughts on it? Since you are the one that's playing the game and stuff like that, what are your final thoughts on the show and the way it's revolutionized and or like its impact on generations to come?
Spider-Man's one of the most popular superheroes of all time because of the damn show.
Agreed. Oh, since you are the resident Power Ranger expert, before we go, please.
What's up, Danger? Like, what's up, Danger? Said, what's up, Danger? Like, what's up, Danger?
I didn't die the entire playthrough. You guys sit right at the edge.
The entire playthrough, it did not.
You can't write this. You can't write that. I died because of a glitch. Come on.
You died because you're a bitch ass nigga. That's why you died.
No. That was
right
the entire playthrough, all the way till the end. Damn.
I died because of a glitch.
He's been
bitch
beating
ass
ass
nigga.
the whole game. He's been kicking ass the whole game. Has not died once.
Listen, he's been swinging holding this unit.
Oh my god. And he that's hilarious. Oh shit, I was not expecting to see that. Oh my god. Okay. This is a fucking great episode, man. This is a great episode. But yeah, since you are the resident Power Ranger expert, before we go, please inform our viewers of the connection of Spider-Man and Super Sentai.
The Japanese Spider-Man cartoon, the live action series.
Yep, and
pretty much started pretty much was like the blueprint for Super Sentai.
Yep. So when Stan Lee dropped Spider-Man, Japanese loved that. He blew up in Japan so much that they ended up creating a Spider-Man TV show, and you can still find it. You can still, you gotta really dig deep, but you can still find it.
It's very weird. Spider-Man got a giant robot and everything.
Yeah, like he was like straight Power Ranger level. Like he had a whole giant robot and everything. Now question: does this predate Kamen Rider?
No, Kamen Riders. It was in the 70s as well, but no.
So it was Spider-Man, Kamen Rider, Power Rangers.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Super Sentai.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. But yeah. So what they they created the live action Spider-Man series in Japan, and again it was actually horrible. Like the actual graphics and shit was horrible, but
it's just technically conceived in the 80s.
Technically, yes.
We can never get the shit off the ground until the 90s, but here and there. Back to the topic.
Yeah. But yes, so for all of you guys who love Power Rangers, for all of you guys who love Super Sentai, for anyone who watched our Power Rangers episode, for hell, I just want to point out, not to throw any shade or anything, but a lot of the especially Mighty Morphin and the Power Ranger actors, it was because of Stan Lee and Spider-Man that Super Sentai was created. Thus, the reason why we have the American Power Rangers that we have today, and it's all because of motherfucking Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the glue. I feel like Spider-Man is the glue that holds the Marvel universe together. I feel like all roads lead back to Spider-Man. And I feel like they did so much justice with this show and the way everything kind of, the way they wrote the show. They did it so much justice. I respect it so much, and I love it so much. I will go back and rewatch it at some point. It's just we got a lot on our plate right now, guys. We got a lot coming for you. The whole day today we were on and off planning for the next, not necessarily the next few episodes, but things to come in the the late future. Same thing with our merch line that's coming out. Fuck prep time.
Fuck prep time.
Fuck prep time. Fuck prep time.
You ain't gonna say it, Jack?
At least say fuck Tony Stark.
Nah.
Damn. Not even Tony?
He started it.
He started what? He started what?
He started it.
He started what?
Fucking Christ, man.
See, this is why I can't fuck with you. Every time one of us lifts up, there's another one, like another crab motherfucker like you trying to tear us down.
What?
How?
How?
No.
How, Sway? How? But no, yeah.
So I got a question for you. Here's one, because this is one that got brought up. This one got brought up at work. So going off subject real quick, who's winning in the fight? The Black Panther or Batman?
Black Panther.
And Power, I'm not talking to you.
Because I was a part of that conversation, so I'm leaving it alone. But what was that, Jag?
Black Panther.
Yeah, hands down, Black Panther. Black Panther's winning, hands down. Hands down. So check this out. While Batman knows 100 different mixed
What, you think I meant that black or something?
What?
Whoa! That escalated quickly.
You go in there, crabs in the barrel, and you start.
Yeah, you throw some anti-black slurs at him there. You think he's anti-black or something?
Listen, I don't know. I don't know who he is. He could be over there wearing the Make America Great Again hat right now.
Hey, yo!
Wow!
That could be.
No.
That could be Clayton Bigsby playing that game.
I am not so-hating, thank you very much.
Clayton Bigsby.
Red card! Technical foul!
No.
Oh my god! Technical fucking foul! Oh!
No.
Oh my god! No. While Batman knows 100 different mixed martial arts, T'Challa is versed in all martial arts.
And one specifically native to Wakanda.
Exactly. And I also want to point out all that motherfucking money Batman got. Oh, he got a whole company. Oh, he does this. He's that. This is T'Challa owns a country. He owns a country that really houses the most valuable resource on the planet Earth.
Bruce Wayne is worth $3 billion. Excuse me. Bruce Wayne is worth $3 billion. T'Challa is worth 70 trillion.
Exactly.
70 trillion.
And I just want to point out, since we are all pro black here. If anything, the true Batman is Lucius Fox. I just want to point that out. If we want to get technical, the true Batman is Lucius Fox. And I just want, damn. Should I go there?
I feel like we're getting off subject, boys.
Fuck it. We're at the end of the show anyways. Fuck it. Batman is just another white man making a living off the back of a black man. There would be no Batman without Lucius Fox. I mean, there could be, but his technology ain't gonna be nearly as cool. God damn, I'm alone in my observation. I'm alone in my assessment here.
I didn't say nothing. Yeah, I'm waiting for you to say something I disagree with.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was an agreement
Yes.
silence.
Yes.
Damn, can I at least get a Wakanda forever so I don't feel like I don't feel racist here?
My spot.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's going on?
All right, level 7s, and with that whole bunch of fuckery at the end of there, that has been the super breakdown of Spider-Man the Animated Series. Guys, if you have not watched this show, go watch it. It's on Disney Plus. Go rewatch it. It's incredible. It's great. Yes, watching it back as an adult, you're definitely gonna have a different outlook on it than like if you watch it as a kid. But it's so great. It's so good. You guys definitely got to check it out. And then please also check out thank you Nair. Man, this podcast is so it's some enjoyable and funny stuff. We appreciate it. We definitely try. We definitely have some more mellow episodes, but this one just ended up turning into it turned into something different this whole episode. But we definitely appreciate it. Guys, definitely like, comment, subscribe, share, let your people know. We have a QR code. If they don't want to believe you, send them the QR code. It's on our Facebook. It's on our Instagram. Send them our QR code, guys. The Super Breakdown on Instagram, the Super Breakdown on on Facebook. We stream on YouTube as well. That's going to be underneath Week's Multimedia Group. That is our overarching parent company. Guys, definitely, tell your friends. Hold
it, Power. Before we cut out, we need to give a word from our sponsor.
And a word from our sponsor. Are you a gamer? Do you like staying up late nights? Spending all your time with a controller in your hand, playing with that analog stick?
Oh my God.
Well, I have a product for you. Introducing Dubby Energy Drink. Jitterless and crashless. It's a simple powder. You take 1 scoop, drop it in your water and or your juice, and you're ready to go. It comes with multiple different color shakers, multiple different flavors, such as Dragonade, such as Peach Mayhem. Guys, just go check it out. This drink is really good, and they can give you a testimonial. I think out of us three, I'm the only one that drinks it because these two can't have energy drinks due to underlying issues. But I'm the only one that really drinks it, and it's guys, how would you say I am after I drink Dubby?
A genius.
oh,
you would have thought you would have thought this fucker just ate a sensu bean.
Yeah. As a testimonial to you guys, I will definitely say, from my own personal experience, drinking this drink, it definitely it helps out a lot. I feel motivated. I feel more focused. I I know I'm thinking more. I'm coming up with new creative ideas. Coming up on the screen right here. This is what the tubs look like. Again, we have Dragonade, we have Galaxy Grenade, we have Dub Sludge. We have, for those of you who can't have caffeine, they have a caffeine-free hydration blend Monkey Madness. As a black man, I choose not to drink that one myself.
What he said. Now we can order some of those for Jag though.
Oh
shit!
No.
Oh God! But if you guys are interested at any point and checking out W again, I personally recommend it. Guys, go ahead, go to w.gg and hit that cart. And honestly, any of our posts, you can find our link in our bio, and you can lead you right there, and you get a 10% discount by using hashtag TSB2023, a 10% discount. And it takes about a week to get out to you because they're based out in Cali. But again, I stand by it. It works. One school, and I recommend trying like experimenting with it. Maybe go a half scoop or a full scoop because again, everybody's different. But guys, this stuff is great. I love it. Like they say, I'm damn near a genius on it. If you guys are watching right now, please scan the QR code that's on the screen and click the first link that pops up there, and you guys can get yourself 10% off on W Energy Drink. Guys, thank you. I love you guys. All level 7. Lord Triage, thank you guys for coming out. Saying Jag, thank you for coming out. Thank you for playing this game with us, man, and talking about this. And until next time, we'll see you then. Peace.
Hoorah.
Wow.